Welcome everybody. This is our latest podcast series on the station. So today we've got a little new format for you, and I've got here with me my colleagues Miguel Pinto and Heinke Jäger. They're both in the scientific teams. Heinke's a restoration ecologist, and Miguel actually is the curator of Naturalist History Collection. And so we've cooked up something a little bit different, but basically, I don't know if much of our listeners know this, but we have a big library and archive. We have, in fact, the biggest collection on Galápagos in the world. And a lot of the scientists that have worked with us in the past, and even people that are not scientists, have left their archives behind, their notebooks from the field, like annotations, photographs, and obviously their research as well, right? All of this is here, but it's hidden, right? And so today what we want to try to do is bring these to life and read little passages out of it. And I'm surprising you today with a passage, and I'm just curious what your commentary on it is, because this is a passage from the 90s. It's not super old, but it is still very different from what it is today. And also it shows a little bit the funny side of science, right? Because it's not just serious stuff all the time. Like, these are humans doing science on the field. So that's a little bit what we're gonna do. And yeah, so welcome both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
I'm going to surprise you today with the Noticias de Galápagos. So
91.
From 1991, correct. So Andrea from our library has kindly given me the original, but obviously I have annotated a printed version because I had lots of annotations to not screw up with your format. But essentially from here, we're going to read a little passage which was written by none other than Linda Cayot.
Okay.
So you both know her. She passed away sadly in 2022, but she's quite a figure in the Galápagos Islands. I think both of you know her, right?
Yes.
Like, she worked in with tortoises and land iguanas, and she wrote this really moving and loving and funny tribute, actually, to two reptiles that passed away in the 90s. And so I wanted to read that to you and see what you thought. So the first one, the passing of two beloved reptiles, Onan and Chiquita. Now, an obituary for a tortoise first. The most individualistic, ordinary, beloved tortoise in Galápagos died early this year. Onan, an ancient male tortoise, lived alone for most of the century in the central crater of Isla Pinzón. Now, Pinzón was one of the islands, right, that had one of the big eradication projects, right?
Yes.
Is that what it
was?
On
rats, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, they explain it. As a result of the overexploitation of tortoises in the 1800s and early 1900s, the tortoise population on Pinzón fell to dangerously low levels. The tortoise surveys in the 1960s showed less than 200 tortoises were left on Pinzón, and all but Onan lived on the outer, western, southern slopes. In the central crater, Onan reigned alone. Is this usual of tortoises? Like, to be on their own, like out of their group, do you know? I find it weird.
Yeah, I don't really know.
No, it seems that they are very idiosyncratic. Some go along, others can be
Well, he was
not so long.
probably an
Lost?
individualist.
Probably.
And they have personalities, right? So Steve Blake has a really cool stories about the personalities of the tortoises.
Yeah.
So
Stephen Blake. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does.
some hang out together, and some of them really hate other tortoises, and so they outcast some tortoises apparently.
Well, they clearly put a type on him. So Linda goes on to write, Onan spent so many years alone that he began exhibiting amorous intentions with tortoise-shaped rocks.
Oh, that's interesting. This is not the first thing that he's reading about that.
No. It's a common behavior?
I don't know how common, but there is a good story about the male that was found in Fernandina by the Cas Academy expedition of 1905-1906.
Fantastica.
Right? So the Rolobec, who chased this tortoise, found signs that there was this rounded rock that was humped frequently by this tortoise that he found. Yes.
Oh, well.
Yep.
I guess, I don't know, nature surprises you, huh? Yep. Anyway, during a visit to Pinzón in 1970, and this was by Craig McFarlane and Peter Kramer, so we know both of them well. Craig, unfortunately, is also no longer with us, but Peter definitely is, and he's also coming to our General Assembly every year. So Onan's special rock-loving behavior was discovered. So those two discovered it. McFarland named him Onan, after the biblical character.
Oh, okay.
Good one.
Do you actually know who Onan is? You do? Oh, tell me. I had to look it up.
Okay, well, that's too long.
No,
The reader can
explain to our,
look it
listeners.
up. No.
All right, well, I will, because I did think it was pretty hilarious. So apparently, Onan came from the Hebrew Bible, first of all, so from the Genesis 38.
Oh, so you already have the chapter, right? That's
Yes, apparently. Yeah, well, I really looked it up because I didn't know this character, and obviously I was very curious why by scientists naming a tortoise after a biblical character. So Onan, basically his father instructed him to marry his brother's widow. To have children and to continue the lineage, right? But apparently Onan refused to have children with his wife. And so he would, literally, this is what I looked up, he would spill his semen on the ground because he didn't want to, obviously, have kids with his wife. And so because of that, God punished him and killed him and put him to death, essentially. But essentially, he was defying his social duty to provide an heir. And so, yes, so this tortoise
You explained this much better than I could.
in a cleaner way as well.
clinical.
Shorter.
But I thought it was
I
funny.
don't know if there is the word in English, but in Spanish is onanismo.
Yes, I didn't see that too.
In English.
right.
Onanismo, I know. So yes. Anyway, so moving on. So Onan, bless Onan. During the past 20 years, as part of the rearing and repatriation program run jointly by the Charles Darwin Research Station and the Galápagos National Park Directorate, nearly 300 young tortoises have been repatriated to Pinzón. We all know this, right, on our team. Many of them to the central crater. Thus, Onan spent his last 2 decades in the company of many young tortoises, but apparently he still remained quite lonely, right? So Onan usually greeted the scientists and wardens visiting Pinzón's central crater, approaching with his mouth wide open and his head held as high as possible. So we've got a picture of that actually in here, right? So actually a better picture is probably here. But apparently he loved to stand tall, which is apparently an aggressive posture typical of antagonistic interactions between tortoises competing for food.
Actually, we can see that every morning on the way to our offices when they feed them. I mean, it's war.
Oh yeah.
Go. It's really interesting.
So you have your office right next to the corrals of the
Yeah,
Pinzón
we
Center,
pass
right?
by there and they're being fed Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. And every time we have this war going on with very high tortoises fighting for food.
So there you go. So he was clearly exhibiting that kind of behavior. Reaching for his maximal height, he would often lift one of his front feet and totter momentarily with a tripod stance. So, but I find it lovely how she writes about it because it's so loving the way she writes, right? He was not large, but he stood tall. If you raised your hand or raised your hand or head above his, or gently tapped him on the head, he would then submit with withdrawing, at least for a moment. He was difficult to photograph. This is for you, Mara, filming behind the camera, because he walked straight at the camera, sticking his head right into the lens. So I think I remember experiencing that at the Houston Zoo. But they have giant tortoises at the zoo. But obviously they've always lived in a zoo environment with humans around. And obviously they know that the human feeds them at the zoo. And it was very odd. So we went with the zookeepers. They let us in because we were shooting some material as part of an event we did there together with the zoo. And I was wearing a red dress actually, and I found out that they're like bulls. These tortoises, they're attracted to red, and so they were all charging at me, but like not obviously in a slow pace. But then they were also charging at the lens, so they clearly were also attracted by like, I don't know, the reflection or something in the lens. But anyway, one strategy, take note Mara, was for the photographer to lie on the ground and snap the photographs just before being overrun by the tortoise.
Interesting. Can you imagine?
So Onan looked ancient, with little extra flesh on his bones and scarred carapace covered by lichens. In his final years, he was nearly deaf and blind. Yeah. So his presence on Pinzón made every visit to the island special for all who had encountered him there. He was last seen alive during the tortoise census of February 1990. Then, on a trip 4 months later, Washington Tapia, Germán Morillo, and Gail Davis found his remains. So actually, I wanted to ask you this, Miguel, because I remember you telling me once that the tortoise carapace and bones, actually, they wither quite quickly, right?
Sometimes, yes, if they are exposed. So there is this, this story of this, the Pinta tortoise, right? That it was found after the Lonesome George was recovered from Pinta. So they believe that that adult mate that they found was alive well after Lonesome George was found. So when they found this carapace, it was in really fairly good conditions, only with a hole in a side. So the people that collected, they estimated that probably was out there for a couple of months, out there rotting, but still was in good condition. So probably a few months.
Yeah, I mean, I guess had they waited a bit longer, maybe they wouldn't even have found much.
Oh yeah, or just totally, just scatter the pieces of the carapace and the long bones. But I wonder if we have in the collection that specimen.
I don't know. That's a good. Oh no. Actually, this is what the next phase is. But the other story I will tell you has a link to the collections. So by the turn of the century, rats were so abundant on Pinzón that Rollo Beck concluded that all hatchlings were consumed by rats. If so, the possibility exists that Onan was a product of the 19th century, one of the last generation produced before rats took over Pinzón.
Oh.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so it's 90 years after they were there, right? So if they were at the beginning of the 20th century, that's...
As to his exact age, no one knows for sure, but he was a true patriarch, likely well over 100 and possibly over 150 years old. Onan was buried on Pinzón on the 4th of June of 1990, so he's not here, clearly not in the collections, and he shall remain there as part of the island. Future trips to Pinzón will not be the same for the park personnel, station biologists, and other scientists who knew him. We will all miss him.
Quite a story.
Yeah.
And just, I should have said, I mean, the Galápagos research, though, it started being published, I think it was in 1963, which is just around the time that the station was founded in 64. And it included stories like this, as well as scientific papers and findings and reports from the field, right?
Yes.
And to this day, it's still published. But it's now called Galápagos Research. Back then, I think it was, what was it? Noticias de Galápagos. So I have a second obituary. I'm being very macabre today. But bless, this is also a really lovely story. It's a bit less certainly no biblical characters in this one, but it's an obituary for an iguana. So Chiquita, the unofficial mascot of the Charles Darwin Research Station, died on 25th of April, 1990. In the early days of the station, a young land iguana was found roaming the grounds. When Doña Magdalena Vélez began working in the dormitories in 1965, she continually saw the small iguana and named it Chiquita because of the iguana's small size. But
Makes sense.
Chiquita lived on to roam the station grounds for more than 25 years.
Wow.
That's a long time. Yeah.
They probably fed her. No.
So I'm getting to that, which is really not appropriate today. Wow. But apparently back then,
that was common.
That is common. So Doña Magdalena was Chiquita's best friend. In the years that Doña Magdalena worked in the dormitories, which was from 65 to 82, Chiquita was most often found there. Magdalena often sat on the ground, and Chiquita approached closely, often climbing onto her lap to be fed chocolates and bananas.
The second part I can understand, the chocolate one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this famous video of Karl Angermayer, right, calling the marine iguanas outside his house, and he's feeding them rice and chicken.
Oh, really?
Every day.
The marine iguanas?
The marine iguanas.
That eat algae.
Well, they also eat placenta if they can get hold of it, so they do eat,
But this is a land iguana, right?
Right. Yes, but chocolate.
I thought there was no land iguana here. On Santa Cruz. There's land iguanas here?
But there were some iguanas that were brought from Baltra to have a breeding program here.
Yes.
Then to be relocated to Santiago Island.
So this one escaped?
Probably.
I mean, there are land iguanas on Santa Cruz, up at Cerro Dragón in the northwest.
Right. And there are fossil remains in the caves in Santa Cruz. So it was widely distributed in the island.
Okay, because nowadays you can't find
Right.
land
No,
iguanas.
not around
Just
here.
Cerro
Not like
Dragón.
naturally.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, probably was from there, right?
Yeah, so
don't know.
probably escaped. Right, so probably because there was a breeding program from a
the
land.
corals are just where our office is,
Right.
right there. So I mean, probably.
It's possibility. They don't identify this in this text. At least I haven't seen it so far. So Chiquita loved to be scratched and would stand in the typical upright position that some iguanas used to encourage finches to remove ticks. So after Magdalena retired, Chiquita frequented other homes at the station to receive her daily rations.
Chocolate and banana.
Of course, she also ate native vegetation. Linda definitely needed to put that in there. For many of us, Chiquita was our first encounter with a land iguana. Often within a day or two of someone's arrival at the station, she surprised them by looking in the screen door of their dormitory room.
It's like a dog.
A little bit, yeah. Sir. Chiquita was found dead in front of Cruz Marquez's house, one of her favorite hangouts in recent years. Who was Cruz Marquez? Oh,
He worked for the Charles Darwin Foundation for 25 years at least.
He wrote a book about tortoises.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he was,
yeah?
He was leading the tortoise program
okay. Oh, well.
and many expeditions to other islands.
Really? Oh, well, she
Yeah, he
seemed to
only
like...
left in 2014.
Okay. Oh, recently. Yeah. Oh. So, so she was found there on 26th of April. Unlike Onan.
But that's in town. His house, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But they seem to say that this is on the station grounds.
Oh,
Maybe he
Perhaps
lived there
he lived-
temporarily.
probably he used to live here.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Unlike Onan, she was autopsied. Her liver was found to have failed. I should not be laughing at this, but with the amount of chocolate and banana,
Probably, yeah.
that
Probably did not help.
She had a fatty liver.
yeah. So, but apparently, so her skeleton will become part of the museum collection at the station. And so I wanted to ask Miguel, do you know of Chiquita? Do you have like a specimen labeled as Chiquita?
Well, we have over 150 specimens of land iguanas.
Oh,
So maybe one of those is Chiquita.
So homework, we need to go find Chiquita and tell her story.
Look for a small one.
Yeah, 26 April. So is
Oh, we will miss seeing her roaming around the station. With the passing of Onan and Chiquita, and with the first record of hatchling tortoises on Isla Española, the grandchildren, she writes, of the native adults in captivity, see article this issue, we move into a new era with the hope that current management programs will continue to protect Galápagos reptile populations well into the next century and the one after that. So this is it.
Wow.
Did you know these stories of Onan and Chiquita?
I heard about Chiquita.
Oh, really?
I didn't hear about Onan, but I have heard that they have this habit of humping rocks. Yes, I feel too lonely.
Well, this was new to me.
And that's really just encouraging, and to encourage people to read this Noticias de Galápagos here in the library. I remember one time, long time ago, when I had more time, I was just sitting there and flipping through these, and there's so many interesting stories there. And of the more recent years, I arrived in '98, so some of them, I could relate to, but then the ones from before were just amazing.
Yeah.
And like you said, diaries and pretty frank reports on what was going on at the station. It's very, very entertaining.
Yeah. So I hope to certainly bring some of that entertainment. And then, so thank you for joining me today. And I hope you'll join me for another one.
Yeah, this is fun. This is a fun format.
I think it's a good idea. Great fun.
Yeah,
Thanks
it
for
is.
this initiative.
All right. Well, thanks to our listeners as well. And if you like this episode and you'd like to hear more of this series, then obviously like it and follow our podcast, The Station. And then come and visit the library. You can access this. The library is open every day from Monday to Friday during the work hours. We have a very, very friendly librarian team who is more than happy to bring out awesome products from the archive, even stuff we don't even know yet we have. So just come and visit.